Lovely viewers, gather around because what I'm about to share with you is one of the most emotional, heart-stopping stories we've heard in a long time. If you've been following the journey of Song Hye Kyo and Song Joong, then you already know their history is nothing short of a roller coaster, filled with love, separation, heartbreak, and constant rumors of reconciliation. But today, something truly magical has happened, and fans are absolutely losing their minds over it. Yes, you heard that right. Song Joong has reportedly written a heartfelt love letter to none other than Song Hye Kyo, and the internet is on fire begging her to read it. Can you feel the tension already? Because I can, and it's absolutely electric. Imagine this. A handwritten letter, not a text, not an email, but a genuine letter poured straight from the heart. In an era where everything is digital and instant, this gesture feels so rare and romantic. And guess what? Fans are convinced this could be the most beautiful sign yet, that Joong still holds a special place in his heart for Hye Kyo. Now, before we dive into what the fans are saying, let me ask you, if someone wrote you a love letter after years of silence, would you open it? Would you let those emotions flood back in? Or would you walk away to protect your peace? Comment down below because this is the question burning in everyone's mind right now. Reports suggest that Joong's letter wasn't just a few words scribbled on paper. It was a long, deeply emotional message, the kind that carries every ounce of feeling someone has held back for years. Close insiders claim the letter talks about how he never truly stopped caring for her, how time and distance only made him realize how much she meant to him. Can you even imagine what it must feel like to read words like that from someone who once shared your entire world? Fans are already crying over this revelation, saying this is straight out of a K-drama. And honestly, I couldn't agree more. If this were a scene in Descendants of the Sun 2, we would all be binge-watching it right now. But here's where things get even more intense. Hye Kyo hasn't confirmed if she's read the letter yet. That's right, no one knows if she even opened it. The letter was reportedly delivered privately, and fans are practically on their knees begging her to take a moment, sit down, and read every single word. Social media is flooded with comments like, "Please, Hye Kyo, read the letter. He poured his heart out for you." And if this doesn't bring them back together, nothing will. The energy online is absolutely wild. People are even trending hashtags like hashtag read the letter Hye Kyo and hashtag Joong still loves. Isn't that just incredible? Fans are rooting for love like it's their own story. Now let's pause for a second. If Hye Kyo does read the letter, what do you think will happen? Will it soften her heart and open old doors? Or will it stir emotions she has tried to move on from? Some fans believe this is fate trying to reunite two souls that were meant to be together, while others feel she's happy in her new life and shouldn't look back. Which side are you on? Should love get a second chance? Drop your thoughts because I know you have opinions on this. Here's another twist. Rumors are swirling that the letter wasn't just about feelings but also an apology. Yes, an apology for everything that went wrong, for the words left unsaid, for the moments they lost. If that's true, then this letter is not just romantic, it's healing, it's closure, and maybe even the beginning of something new. And if you've ever received an apology that came straight from the heart, you know how powerful that can be. Can melt walls you thought were unbreakable. So now the big question, will Hye Kyo forgive him? Will she even respond? Or will she quietly keep this as a memory of what once was? Fans are also speculating that Joong wrote this letter after seeing how happy Hye Kyo has been recently, and maybe it made him realize what he lost. Some believe it's his way of saying, "I still love you and I always will," while others think it's just his attempt to find peace within himself. Either way, this letter has caused a storm, and everyone is watching closely to see what happens next. Can you imagine the internet if Hye Kyo posts even a single hint that she read it? It would break records instantly. People would analyze every word, every emoji, every picture. The entire world would stop for that one post. And let's not forget the sentimental value of this gesture. In today's world, where relationships often end with a text or a cold silence, writing a love letter takes courage, takes vulnerability. It takes love, the kind that doesn't care about pride or fear of rejection. This shows that Joong, despite everything, still feels something so strong it pushed him to take this step. Isn't that what real love looks like? Not perfect, not easy, but brave enough to try one more time. Now I want to hear from you, lovely viewers. If you were in Song Hye Kyo's shoes, what would you do? Would you read the letter and let your heart decide? Or would you protect your peace and move forward without looking back? Do you think Joong deserves a second chance? Or is it too late for love to bloom again? Share your thoughts in the comments, because this is one of those stories where everyone's opinion matters. One thing is for sure, the world is watching. Fans are hoping. Hearts are beating faster. And this love letter could be the spark that reignites a love story we all thought was over. Or maybe, just maybe, it will remain a beautiful reminder that some feelings never fade, no matter how much time has passed. Stay tuned, because if Hye Kyo ever responds, you already know it's going to shake the entire internet. Lovely viewers, we're just getting started, because this story has so many layers that the internet can't stop peeling back. Right now, the tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. And every single fan is refreshing their feeds waiting for that one update from Song Hye Kyo. Will she read the letter? Will she respond? Or will she let it remain unopened, like a secret piece of history sitting in silence? These questions are haunting everyone. And honestly, the speculation is just getting juicier by the minute. Some sources close to Joong claim that the letter was written in his own handwriting, on luxurious cream-colored stationery, sealed in an envelope with his personal seal. Yes, the same kind of dramatic gesture you see in a romantic drama. Can you imagine that moment? The envelope sitting on Hye Kyo's desk or bedside table, her fingers brushing against it, her heart pounding as she debates whether to break that seal. That image alone has fans writing fanfiction online, recreating what they think the first line of that letter might be. Some fans even believe he started with, "To the only woman who ever truly had my heart." Doesn't that just send shivers down your spine? Now here's the kicker. Fans are saying that if Hye Kyo decides to post anything in the next 24 hours, even something as small as a picture of the sky or a cup of coffee, it's going to be analyzed like a national treasure. People will search for hidden meanings like, is this coffee from the same brand they used to drink together? Or, does this sunset photo mean she's thinking about him? It sounds crazy, but if you've been part of a fandom, you know this is exactly how deep fans go when emotions are high. Meanwhile, Joong has been completely silent on social media since news of the letter leaked. Not a single post, not a single like. That silence is speaking louder than words, and fans are convinced it means this gesture was serious. This wasn't a publicity stunt or something for attention. This was from the heart. Some even say he wrote the letter after watching Hye Kyo in her recent drama, feeling nostalgic about the days when they worked together on Descendants of the Sun, the drama that made the entire world fall in love with their chemistry. Remember those days? The way they looked at each other on screen wasn't acting. It was real, and fans know it. And oh, the fan reactions are next level. People are posting videos crying over the news. Others are making compilation edits of Joong and Hye Kyo's best moments, adding captions like, "If this isn't love, what is?" There's even a viral TikTok challenge called #ReadTheLetterChallenge, where fans write their own love letters and pretend to be Hye Kyo opening them. Can you believe this? The internet truly knows how to turn emotions into trends. And honestly, it's beautiful to see so many people rooting for love in a world that often feels so complicated. But let's get real for a moment. If Hye Kyo reads this letter, it could change everything. Not just for her and Joong, but for the entire fandom. This could be the spark of reconciliation, a chance to heal old wounds and maybe even rekindle something that never fully died. Or it could simply be a chapter closed with grace and gratitude. Either way, the impact of this moment is massive, because these two aren't just actors. They're symbols of one of the most iconic love stories in K-drama history. Now imagine this scenario with me, lovely viewers. Picture Hye Kyo alone in her home late at night. The world is asleep. The only light in the room comes from a small lamp on her desk. She sits there, holding the envelope in her hand. Her fingers tremble slightly as she traces his name written on the front. Memories flood her mind. The laughter they shared, the promises they made, the heartbreak that followed. She takes a deep breath, closes her eyes, and finally, with a soft tear rolling down her cheek, she breaks the seal. Are you picturing this? Because I swear if this moment actually happens, it will break the internet in half. And then, the words. What if the letter starts with something like, I know I don't deserve another chance, but I can't leave this world without telling you that you were my greatest love. Can you even imagine? Fans would go insane. Twitter would crash. TikTok would be flooded with reaction videos. And honestly, so would our hearts, because deep down, we all want to believe in love that survives storms, don't we? But here's the big question, and I need your opinion on this. Should Hye Kyo respond publicly or keep this private? Some fans say they want to see a happy ending out in the open, while others believe if it's real, it should stay between them. Where do you stand on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this is one of those moments where the world feels united in anticipation. And let me tell you, if Hye Kyo ever posts a single heart emoji, a single quote about love, or even a photo with a handwritten note in the background, people will lose their minds. That's the level of obsession we're talking about right now. In fact, some insiders are even suggesting that Joong might make a follow-up gesture if he doesn't get a response. Maybe a song, maybe a public statement, maybe even showing up at an event. If that happens, oh my goodness, it's gonna be like the biggest K-drama cliffhanger of the decade. Now, here's something interesting. What if this letter isn't just about love, but also about regret and friendship? What if Joong wrote it to say, even if we can't be what we were, I want us to be at peace, to smile when we think of each other. That's powerful too, because closure is a form of love, don't you think? Sometimes the bravest thing you can do for someone is to give them peace after the storm. Lovely viewers, this story is still unfolding, and I promise you the moment we get an update, whether Hye Kyo reads the letter, responds, or even gives the smallest hint, you will hear it right here first. Lovely viewers, as I said, this is just the beginning of an emotional journey that none of us saw coming. And now let's dive deeper, because the theories, the possibilities, and the emotions surrounding this love letter are growing like wildfire. Every hour, new speculation pops up, and honestly, the suspense is so intense that even those who weren't fans of the Song couple are now following the updates. That's how powerful this moment has become. It's not just a story, it's a phenomenon. Now, let's imagine what's happening behind closed doors, because that's where all the real drama is unfolding. If the rumors are true, and Hye Kyo has that letter in her possession right now, just sitting there in her home, can you even picture the weight of that envelope? It's not just paper. It's years of unspoken words, unshed tears, and untold feelings all packed into a few sheets. It's the kind of thing that can make your hands shake just holding it. Has she read it already? Is she saving it for the right moment? Or is she too afraid to open it because she knows once she does, the floodgates of emotion will burst open? Fans are debating this endlessly. Some believe she has already read it in private and is simply choosing not to say anything yet because she wants to process it in her own time. Others believe she hasn't read it at all because she's scared of reopening old wounds that took years to heal. Which theory do you think is true? Personally, I think there's a big chance she's read it, and maybe, just maybe, she's sitting quietly thinking about how to respond. Meanwhile, fans are turning into detectives. They're combing through every tiny detail on her social media. Her captions, her stories, even her likes, to find hidden clues. One fan pointed out that she recently liked a quote about forgiveness, and now that post is blowing up with comments like, "Is this about Joong's letter?" Others noticed that she posted a picture of a sunrise a few days ago, and now people are interpreting it as a sign of a new beginning. Isn't it fascinating how fans can turn the simplest thing into a major clue? That's the power of love stories. They make us want to believe. And here's where things take another exciting turn. There are whispers that Joong didn't just write one letter. He wrote multiple drafts before finally sending the perfect one. Imagine that process. Him sitting at his desk late at night, struggling with every word, tearing up page after page because nothing felt good enough to express what he truly feels. The thought of him pouring his heart out like that makes this whole story even more emotional, doesn't it? Now, let's talk about what might actually be in that letter, because this is where the imagination goes wild. Some fans believe he confessed that he never stopped loving her, that no matter what happened, no one else has ever come close to replacing her in his heart. Others think it's more of an apology letter, saying he wishes he could turn back time and fix what went wrong. And then there's a theory that he included a small keepsake, maybe a photo of them from happier times or something meaningful only the two of them would understand. If that's true, then this isn't just a letter. It's a time capsule of their love story. Lovely viewers, let's picture another possible scenario because I know you love imagining these moments as much as I do. What if Hye Kyo decides to reply? Not through a letter, not through a text, but by showing up at an event where Joong will be. Just like in a drama. Imagine the cameras flashing, the fans screaming, the media losing their minds as these two walk into the same room again after all this time. What would that moment feel like? Pure electricity. The internet would crash. Entire news outlets would dedicate their front pages to this reunion. And honestly, it would be the kind of ending or beginning that fans have been praying for since the day they separated. But here's something even crazier. What if Hye Kyo not only reads the letter but actually decides to speak about it publicly? Can you imagine her sitting in an interview and the host asking, "So, we heard Joong wrote you a letter?" The entire world would hold its breath waiting for her answer. Will she smile and say, "Yes, I read it"? Or will she just keep it mysterious with a soft laugh and a cryptic comment like, "Some things are too personal to share"? Either way, fans would be screaming, crying, and celebrating like never before. And let's not forget Joong silence during all of this. His social media blackout is making this story even more intense because it shows he's not doing this for attention. He's doing this for real. And you know what? That makes it even more beautiful. Real love isn't about making a show. It's about genuine feelings. And this letter screams sincerity. It takes courage to reach out after everything they've been through. And whether or not she responds, he's shown that his heart still beats for her. Lovely viewers, let me ask you something really important. If you were Joong, would you take that risk? Would you put your heart on paper knowing there's a chance it could be ignored or even rejected? And if you were Hye Kyo, would you read it and let yourself feel everything all over again? Or would you protect yourself and move on? These are the questions that make this story so relatable because we've all had moments where love, pride, and fear collide, haven't we? Now here's the big one. What do you think happens next? Will she post a cryptic quote about love? Will Joong show up at an award ceremony and dedicate his speech to her? Or will we get a complete shock and see the two of them spotted together, smiling like old times? I don't know about you, but I feel like something huge is coming. And when it does, lovely viewers, we will be here to talk about every single detail.